It is time to get my SCX6 trail ready. And you're probably wondering, well, what's wrong with it? See them body pins right there? They're not doing a good job with what they're designed to do. So, what I have done is I ordered 2 kits, body mounts, for this thing, because they come with 3 different sizes and they don't come with 2 of the same. So also a little sneak peek of what I'm going to be running next weekend. The capper, I'm going to give it a little bit of a break and share the love. I'll show you part number once I get this thing going. Right here. So this kit, because this is the honcho, didn't really come with anything. So, those, bring y'all down here. Alright. So what the kit includes is 4 of these that are all the same size. Here's the 4th one. And then 2 oddballs. As you can see, the length versus this one to that one. And then you have these 2, which are still odd. Don't know why Axial does it, but kind of have to work with what we got. And that's the reasoning of buying 2 of them. So I can make these 2 work. I did it last time because I only bought 1 kit. And I made them work. I just trimmed it up and then got the height close to being the same. But if you look, the distance between the actual stopper versus the first hole are also different. So you kind of have to play with that. Me, in this round, I'm going to do 2 of the same, and I'm probably going to run both of these. Just trim it up, have the holes going all the way. I don't know, do I want to run that? No, think about it. This one's already shorter. Won't have to waste so much material. Never know what the future holds. I changed my mind. Okay, I want to run this one. Bear with me here. Gonna get this thing trail ready for next weekend. Don't want to give too many spoilers away. We already have our next spot in mind where we're wanting to go, and all that will be released soon. I'll just say that. But for now, we're going to have everything ready, go through the truck, make sure nothing's loose, because these SCXs, man, I tell you, especially the 6, this is a big truck. I mean, that's 7-inch diameter wheels. Here's my hand. For a better comparison, here's a 1/5 scale servo box from Traxxas right next to the tire. I mean, these things, they're massive. They are massive. Weighing in approximately 40 pounds, 30 pounds. Could you imagine walking out of the woods 4 miles to 5 miles with this thing? Not gonna happen. So we're gonna go through and just make sure everything's good. And I don't really use these, but I keep them because you never know. Like I said, whatever the future holds, it's better to have it than not. Oh, okay, there it is. So let's use these 2 and do a little repair. Take all these and just move them to the side. Put them over here for right now. But we'll get this body off. Pull that up. So a perfect day to be doing this for all the storms we've been having. Everything is just saturated. Turned out to be a pretty day today, but I need to catch up on some of my vehicles and get them up to par for future content. And I'm really ready to run this big beast. Probably would have been easier if I had all my tools out and the hobby room was a little bit more organized, but hey, you know what? We're gonna get through this together. Over here, cameraman. Preferably. Alright. So oh, these are both been cut. Okay. So that tells me that's it right there. Alright. And it was in the first hole. Maybe? That's definitely not it. Alright, there we go. So this thing, I took it to the Saudi Daisy Blue hole and testing it out just from building the truck. Sadly I didn't get anything on footage, but was doing this gnarly hill climb, got up pretty tall. I was every bit of 45 feet from the level that I was standing on, and she decided to flip back, take a tumble, and broke the body mount. Both of them, unfortunately, but what are zip ties good for, right? Just throw a loop around the two pins, pulled it down to the little eyelets here, them little guys, and was able to continue the trail without the body flopping around. That gets old after a while, especially when you're trying to protect the truck from rollovers. I want to say it was in the first hole. Let's just double check here. It's in the second. It was in the second. That's what she said. So now, back over here. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it is lined up. Oh, there we go. See right in there. So do the other side the same way. Throw the body on it. And we will be ready. Ready to go again. Wish my electric driver was charged. Wouldn't have to do this manually. That's okay. And while we're here, I'll kind of give you a rundown of the SCX6 and what I've done with it. A little bit of my thoughts too, because they are a big truck, they're very unique, and if you're wanting one, go for it. I will say that right out of the gate, just go for it. If you're drooling over it, you've been looking at it, watching the truck, you know, watching hundreds of YouTube videos on it, just go for it. You won't be sorry. They do require a little bit of an upgrade here and there to get them 1000% capable, especially for what I'm doing with the rig. My personal opinion anyway, you don't have to do it, but alright, there we go. Let's do a test fit. Get this body on here. Oh man, what is going on? Okay, there's them. Look at there. I could probably go down one to tighten it up to the body when the clip is in it, but I'm not really stressing it. Let's just see. Would one more really matter? I get a little bit of bounce. Nothing crazy though. So if I got down one more. Let's just try it. Let's just try it and see. Trial and error. That's what this is about. The whole video is about trial and error. So I feel like if I keep it tight and the leverage is shorter, when it goes to tumble, it'd be less of a risk to break them, in theory. In theory. Okay. Go down right there, I think. Yep, that's the first. Here's my electric driver charge. This is that's a finger workout. It is not, and I did not clip. I did not have enough. Let's just do it. Just do it. Let's just do it, man. Alright, test fit time. Yeah, a lot more snug. Alright. I like that a lot better. A lot better. I think that was a good decision. Gotta get this thing ready for the trail ASAP. I can get some batteries charged and test out some other stuff. I'm actually one battery short on this truck. When we had the big snow playing with the XRT, I was running that battery and it did not like the cold and decided to swell up and ripped it out of the truck and threw it across the yard because it was smoking and smelled terrible, and I did not want my truck catching on fire. These things are not cheap to just be out there burning. You can prevent it. I say go for it. Just remember, lithium does not like water. Alright, so done deal. A couple of things that I did to change this truck up to make it what it is. If you noticed, I have cut the front frame, deleted the bumper. This is the Honcho. I went with a Hi-Tech 1/5 servo. Still not the strongest. I do have it on a BEC to keep the stress off the speed controller. Because I noticed when I'd turn, the fan would bog down. I was like, no, that's not going to work, especially with meaty tires like this. So external BEC, push in 8.4 volts, give or take, to it. I could go higher. I have ran it on 9, but it does start to run hot, so to be safe I went down to 8. Aluminum shock towers, front and rear. Purple was cheaper, and purple's rad, fuck it. So aluminum shock towers, front and rear, kind of keeps the sway and the flex out of the front of this thing. The frame's pretty stiff. I can tell when I'm in a real hard bind and I'm flexed out that panhard bar does move down here on the axle, which is still plastic. I haven't had a chance to upgrade the axles yet, but I will be going aluminum in the future. This is the Pro Line cliffhanger body, and the theory with this, obviously, for more approach angle and not have a fender or an enclosed wheel, is the reason why I went with this. Not only that, kept the side runners, clipped these for the Pro Line Mickey Thompson Baja Pro X tires. When I turn and flex, I had to cut the rail to make sure that I wasn't sitting there just clipping hell out of it. But with these side rails to also protect the body, and not only that, I do use the 2 side mounts for 2 different batteries, one for the servo, one for the ESC and the truck itself. I was thinking about going to 1, but this is where the battery would go with the bed and how the height and everything would work. I was like, no, I'll just run 2. I'll keep the weight even, do two big batteries. I run 4S LiPos. Actually, no, I run 3S on the steering servo. I run 4S on the truck, 14 point something volt, 14.8. Yeah, 14.8 volts. To the truck, it can hold up to 15. But anyway, so running that body, doing the body mounts, deleting the rest of the stuff that the Honcho body requires, and cut these fenders, because with that body being narrow, I actually was able to come down, cut it all the way over to the corner, did all my measurements. I recommend, if you do this, to measure everything. I don't have the exact measurements, kind of winged it, did little bit by little bit until it fit perfectly, but trimmed them all the way down so it fits inside the body. Mud's not slinging into the transmission or inside the chassis, holding anything else up or causing any damage, and it's a clean chassis. I mean, come on, keeps maintenance down. For far as the wheels, Pro Line, these are the Black Rhino military wheels. Yes, Black Rhinos. I went to the furthest offset that these offer. I think they have a 5 and a 10 millimeter offset to them. I went to a 10. I wanted the truck to be a little bit wider. Also took the springs off the shocks to give it a full droop setup. Gives this steering bar from the servo a direct shot to the knuckle for better steering. Just, it's straight across. It's not jacked way the hell up to where it's having to push down and then across. So it's direct. Kind of helps out the servo and not stress it out so much. But not only that, lowering center of gravity at the same time with the offset of the wheels. I'm right at 7.5 inches of articulation, and that helps tremendously. With these Trill shock towers, you actually have more mounting points, so I raised it up in the rear just slightly for when I'm coming up onto something pretty steep. I can keep the nose down before it tries to tip. I can get this thing straight up on the rear bumper before it even tips. It's insane. One hell of a heel dominator. The crawling side of things, I'm constantly bouncing between first and second gear. It drives just like a manual Toyota in the woods, I swear. But I'm debating on it, haven't made up my mind. I'm thinking about going single speed. I did do an aluminum mount right here on this servo. This is the factory servo that comes with the truck. But I'm thinking about locking this thing down. If I do, I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to leave it in low gear or high gear, and then that determines what I do in my opinion. I'm thinking about taking this apart, see what's here on the spur gear and the pinion, and then that whatever numbers them are from factory will determine if I lock this in high or low, and then gear this up or down or accordingly to my decision. But later on, as of right now, the truck works. Low gear, yes, I can crawl around, but a lot of the times I'm having to shift it up and high, use a lot of that wheel speed, bounce the back end of the truck to get it up onto the obstacle. And it's not a bouncer, it's a rock crawler, so I'm trying to achieve that with a 4-link in the rear and a 3-link in the front kind of setup. This is my first full frame rock crawler that I've ever had. Everything else I've got are buggies, like the Capra, the Axial Wraith, and then the ancient dinosaur over here at the end. That's a Red Cat rock solder 1/10 scale. If any of y'all have seen that before. If you have, you know. You know. But with this truck right here, trying to get used to a frame, chassis, and a 3-link suspension deal. It hasn't been easy. I ain't gonna lie on that. The weight of the vehicle to kind of limited on articulation and not being buggy style is the reason why I got it. It's a totally different driving experience. It changes rock crawling for me and gets me out of my comfort zone, and that's something that I was after when I bought this. But for the most part, stay tuned, look for the next video. Usually try to drop them between Saturday and Sunday, Monday by the furthest. I just hope y'all really enjoy this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hell, let's grow together. Chattanooga RC Off-Road, baby. Let's go.